KGUN 9 on your side at 5 starts now.
A new wildfire, the Kellogg Fire, sparked near Sonoyta. 15 homes have been evacuated. State Route 83 is closed. We are gonna have a live report coming up.
But first, the stepfather of the 13-year-old girl found dead in Vail is being held on $500,000 bond. 37-year-old Joshua LeLavier is charged with first-degree murder and abandoning and concealing the body of Jaden Graham. LeLavier's next court appearance, June 12th. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Guy Ashley.
And I'm Stella Inger. Tonight, we know more evidence against the man charged with murdering his stepdaughter.
As 9 on Your Side's Craig Smith reports, blood, a computer, and shoes are key parts of this case.
When Jaden Graham was first reported missing, there were theories she might be a runaway. Charging documents against her stepfather, Joshua LeLavier, suggest she did not walk anywhere on her own the day she died. Documents do not mention 13-year-old Jaden by name, but describe a 13-year-old victim found without shoes, but with no sign of dirt or scratches on her bare feet. None of the shoes were missing from the victim's home. Police did find shoe prints where the body was found, and they noted some of Joshua LeLavier's shoes were missing and replaced with new ones. There were also theories about suicide before Jaden Graham was found strangled. Police say they found research on suicide methods when they searched a computer in LeLavier's house. They determined those searches were done when Joshua LeLavier was the only one in that house. The computer was used to write a suicide note about the same time. The note was deleted 45 minutes after Jaden Graham was reported missing, but police were able to recover it. Then there are the cars. Investigators say they found traces of blood around the cargo area of the family's SUV. It was a DNA match for the victim. Craig Smith, KGUN 9 on your side.
It is the second wildfire to spark in southern Arizona just this week alone. The Kellogg Fire burned 250 acres near Sonoyta.
9 on Your Side's Whitney Clarke is live. And Whitney, how are the firefighters handling the dry conditions?
Well, right now we are along Highway 83, just north of the 82 intersection. And from where we are, we can see the crews protecting some of the homes in this area from potential flare-ups. You can see lots of smoke and charred land. It had been quite windy out here just about 10 minutes ago, but for now things kind of have calmed down. This is an area with a lot of brush and tall grass. Now, I'm told that 2 vacant barns have burned down. At one point, about 15 people were evacuated, but most of those evacuations have been lifted. The fire started around 1 this afternoon. No word yet on the official cause, but crews say it started northwest of the intersection of Highway 82 and 83, jumped 82 and took off, the wind causing some problems for crews out here today. Now, there are about 150 firefighters on scene. Like I mentioned, the wind has calmed down a bit, but that really is what caused the fire to spread so quickly. Again, 2 vacant barns have burned from what we've been told, but all of the homes have been okay. There were some restrictions on Highway 82 and 83, but everything for the most part is open at this point. Now, I talked to a few people who live in this area who say this is a very scary time of year. It's hot, it's dry, it's windy. Many of them concerned about their homes during these fires. One thing I have heard from the community is all of them are very grateful for all of the fire crews that keep them safe. For now, from Sonoyta, I'll send it back to you.
Whitney, thank you. And near Benson, fire crews have now fully contained the Slavin fire. It started on Tuesday as a structure fire and has grown to 130 acres. 1 crew will remain in the area to monitor for hot spots.
The Pinal fire near Globe is about 70% contained. 400 firefighters are battling the flames that spread to 7,000 acres. Crews expect to have it fully contained by mid-July.
And Aaron, as Whitney said, dry, hot, and windy.
You know, don't let the clouds fool you. I mean, we started the day with extensive cloud cover, and that may have given some people the impression, hey, we've got a lot of moisture moving in. Our fire weather concerns really aren't that big right now. That's just not the case. We're already seeing our clouds clearing out, and as soon as those clouds cleared out, we started to warm up, and that brought some of the stronger winds from the upper levels of the atmosphere back down to the surface. Right now in Tucson, we've got gusts close to 30 miles per hour. They have been topping out closer to 40 miles per hour in in other parts of southern Arizona today. Right now, we have 93 degrees here in Tucson, wind from the west at 15 miles per hour. Our humidity just a paltry 8%. So we are still very dry at the surface. The wind is still kicking up at times, so please use caution with anything that can spark a fire. And there they are, those clouds on our sky cam view. But again, don't let them deceive you. Coming up, if you're headed to the FC Tucson soccer game tomorrow, I'll let you know how hot it's going to be.
Aaron, thank you. And today is the first day of Pima County's new hands-free distracted driving ordinance. Drivers will not be allowed to hold a phone or any electronic device while driving.
9 on your sides, Priscilla Casper is live to share more. Priscilla, I'm wondering if you're stopped at a stoplight, can you check your phone?
Well, Guy, we're parked right now, but if I were to come to a stop sign or stop light and I have my phone in my hand, I could get a ticket. Now, this is a primary offense, meaning that if sheriff's deputies see you with a phone in your hand at any point while you're driving, you will get a ticket.
Tucson Department of Transportation said it best. TBT, remember when you could text and drive? Not anymore. A hands-free driving ordinance goes into effect today.
I think it's really safe. Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Drivers are not allowed to hold a phone or electronic device while operating a vehicle at any time. The only time you're allowed to use your phone is during an emergency or when you're safely stopped on the side of the road. Kayla Wang says a few years ago, she got into an accident when she was stopped at a light because a driver was distracted by their phone.
This girl was texting and I was completely stopped at a red light, and at the very last second she looked up and she was going about 45 miles an hour and she sideswiped my car. So that was like very scary, and she was very shooken up about it.
Now if you're thinking, how am I supposed to use my phone when driving? Well, you are allowed to use hands-free technology like Bluetooth, a phone mount, or systems in your car. If a person violates the ordinance, it can cost you $100, and if you cause an accident too, that fine jumps to $250.
Now
Okay, there will be a 60-day grace period. Deputies will write warnings as well as handing out educational pamphlets if the driver violates the ordinance. But after those 60 days, drivers will receive a fine. Our next story. There are new leaders at 2 of the area's busiest Border Patrol stations. Sabri Dickman on the left is about to take command of about 500 agents at the Nogales Border Patrol station. John Scanlon will be commanding about 180 agents at the station in Wilcox. They've both seen a lot of changes in their 19 years as agents. Right now, they're seeing a drop in smuggling.
We're lower than we've ever been, probably lower than we have seen the last 17 years in Tucson, and that has been a continual downward trend for us.
Hard narcotics are the exception to that downward trend.
Right, so now it's more of a networked type of smuggling crew, and now the Wilcox station will focus on that late approach, more of a transportation cell, and we'll interdict those at the checkpoints.
And we will hear more from the 2 new commanders on KGUN 9 News at 10. Gunshots and explosions at a resort in the Philippines. The National Police Chief says the attack was carried out by a thief. Police shot and killed the suspect. The chief says it was not a terrorist attack, rather someone who attempted to rob gamblers. The masked gunman opened fire on the 2nd floor of the resort casino, aiming at gambling machines and setting tables on fire. The Philippines Red Cross says at least 25 people were hurt. No one was killed.
President Trump announced the U.S. is withdrawing from the Paris Climate Accord. This fulfills a campaign promise. The president claimed the international agreement was unfair to the U.S.
The bottom line is that the Paris Accord is very unfair at the highest level to the United States. Further, while the current agreement effectively blocks the development of clean coal in America, which it does, and the mines are starting to open up. We're having a big opening in 2 weeks. Pennsylvania, Ohio, West Virginia, so many places.
President Trump says the U.S. will negotiate a new deal. Former FBI Director James Comey will testify before the Senate Intelligence Committee next week. It's scheduled for next Thursday. Comey is expected to address his private conversations with the president, where President Trump reportedly asked him to end his investigation into former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn.
Still to come, check your bank statements if you went to Chipotle. We're going to give you the list of Tucson locations targeted by hackers.
Plus, a shakeup at Uber, what the company is looking for in their new CFO. You're watching KGUN 9 on your side.